Greetings nerdlings and welcome to AmalgamNation presents World of Lorecraft, Racecraft, Pandaren edition. Before we actually get started on the actual facts and information about this race, I just want to say they are the second most hated race to me, as in I hate them the second most out of all races in World of Warcraft. They only come second to the gnomes. The enigmatic Pandaren are one of the most elusive races of Azeroth. Pandaren come from the Pandaren Empire of Pandaria. They are humanoid pandas with a great love of nature and strong ales. The Pandaren are originally from central Kalimdor, where they established the Pandaren Empire. They were allies of the Night Elves until they saw their obsession with magic getting out of control. The clan severed ties and left Kalimdor behind, eventually establishing a new home on an island they named Pandaria. After the Sundering, some Pandaren returned to the new Kalimdor to explore it, where once the Pandaren were a mighty empire standing proud beside their Night Elf allies. Now they are simple people who want only peace and a safe home. Since the Third War, more Pandaren have come to visit Kalimdor. Hailing from their own secret empire, the Pandaren are a race of humanoids resembling pandas. This appearance leads some to underestimate these noble creatures, thinking them harmless and cute. They may be cute, but they are not harmless. Pandaren have a long tradition of mystic warfare and are exceedingly strong and agile. The traditional Pandaren fighting style focuses upon mobility, speed and precision, as well as stunning acrobatic tricks. Many Pandaren are skilled at fighting barehanded. Only the Pandaren know the intricacies of their society, but alcohol is a central feature. Fucking alcoholics. All Pandaren are connoisseurs of ale and stronger drink, leading to a unique kinship with Ironforged dwarves. Fucking alcoholic dwarves as well. A caste of wandering Pandaren warriors called brewmasters is highly respected in their culture. A few brewmasters have been spotted in Kalimdor, searching for new beverages to sample and ingredients to add to their own brews. Pandaren are affable and noble, trained in battle but always seeking peace. Pandaren philosophy centers on harmony of opposites, male and female, calm and chaos, existence and non-existence. Pandaren feel a strong link to the natural world and seek to maintain a peace between all races and nature. Very few Pandaren ever leave their hidden island homeland of Pandaria, although there is a place called Pandaren Settlement within the Stone Talon Mountains. But those that do leave have proved themselves to be strong warriors specializing in drunken brawling with great command of the elements. The most famous of these warriors is Chen Stormstout, who assisted the half-orc Rexar and the Horde after the fall of the Burning Legion. No one knows what became of him afterward, but several of his empty kegs have been found scattered around the barrens. Though Chen assisted Rexar, they do not seem to be specifically affiliated with either the Alliance or the Horde. Even unaligned races such as Pandaren live defined by the conflicts among and around them. In a world constantly on the brink of war, the need for peacemakers is as great as the need for warriors. Many of Azeroth's denizens do not know fealty to the Alliance or the Horde. Some races such as Pandaren are independent. Pandaren appearance. Pandaren resemble a cross between panda bears and humans. They are not dissimilar in appearance to furbolgs, though they are less feral. Pandaren average 5.5 feet in height and make assured and precise movements. The humanoid looks vaguely similar to a bear with a stocky build and blunt ursine face. Its short furred pelt is white and black markings around its eye, although some have red and white markings, whilst others have brown and white. As they age, Pandaren usually lose their red, brown, black fur and it becomes grey. They wear a loose embroidered silk robe. They can run on either 2 or 4 legs. Pandaren homelands. Pandaren hail from distant island empire of Pandaria, which no non-Pandaren has ever seen. A splinter group of Pandaren arrived on Kalimdor in the aftermath of the Third War and has established itself in the Stone Talon region of the Barrens. Pandaren have arrived only recently in the west. There was also an in-game secret in Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos where Artis discovers a Pandaren relaxation area in Andor Hall before finding King Tyrannus' remains. Pandaren society. Each Pandaren belongs to a Shao Din, which is their word for clan. Pandaren society has changed from its origins, where once the Pandaren were a mighty empire standing proud beside their Night Elf allies. Now they are simple people who want only peace and a safe home. Yet the world is a dangerous place, and only through an acceptance of the violence that comes with life can the Pandaren continue to prosper. Pandaren society is in many ways compartmentalized. At their core, the Pandaren treasure peace and creativity. Most Pandaren are poets and singers and the craftsmen of their culture are truly revered. The danger of their lives, however, has necessitated the evolution of a class of warriors to defend those ideals. It is these warriors, from the simplest pikemen to the great shadow pans, who ensure that Pandaren culture survives. Most Pandaren don't belong to one specific clan. Most of the Pandaren at the academy are regular with special gifts for fighting. Pandaren fate. Pandaren have a fierce and deep belief in the connection of the material and spiritual worlds. In many ways, their faith mirrors the ancient beliefs of the Night Elves and the tribal beliefs of the Tauren, Troll and Orc races. However, Pandaren veil their beliefs in the trappings of a mystical and ancient method called geomancy. Geomancy teaches that the land is a reflection of the spirits, but that the spirits are also a reflection of the land. Like the Furbolgs, Tauren and Wildhammer dwarves, the Pandaren follow a shamanistic faith, worshipping the Earth Mother and giving passage to their dead. They are true geomancers, drawing their holy power directly from the Earth Mother. They also follow a new philosophy, new to the other residents of Kalimdor, of course. They are a society that reacts instead of acting first. They claim to be the water that flows around a rock. The water does not push the rock out of the way, it merely goes around it. They use this uncomplicated way of thinking in their everyday life. If they set their minds to a task and they fail, then they believe they went about it the wrong way and try again. They do not mourn for failures, believing that they simply have mapped out improper ways to do things and they will know better next time. This philosophy seems simple, but the Pandaren apply it to every aspect of their lives, from brewing beer to adventuring. They are calm, affable types who will extend the hand of friendship to a stranger on the road, but if the stranger is hostile, the hand of friendship can quickly turn into an excruciating joint lock. In addition to both shamanistic and nature-based spiritualism, the Pandaren also seem to practice and have an understanding of the holy light that is used by the dwarves, humans, blood elves and so on. They, like some practitioners of the faith, believe in peaceful resolutions at all times. Their clerics emphasize the control of negative emotions like fear, sorrow, anger, fury, or any other form of emotional turmoil. The clerics of this race do in fact refer to the power they wield as the light, using it in both greetings and goodbyes, as evident by the NPC Yalia Sage Whisper of the Shadow Pan. She often uses terms such as "may the light guide you" and "be blessed by the light." Whether or not the Pandaren have quickly inherited and taken the light by way of its introduction by the Horde and Alliance, or if it was a part of their society ages before the mists had lifted, has yet to be determined. Jojo Ironbrow, upon joining the Alliance, poses questions that suggest the Pandaren of the Wandering Isle are unfamiliar with the light. Pandaren acupressure. Pandaren are known for their art of acupressure. Acupressure points, such as the one on the right arm, can quicken the heart rate and cause the muscles to contract. Other points on the left arm can calm a user down if needed. Pandaren brewing. What may surprise those who encounter the Pandaren most, however, is their unabashed love of beer. Most religious and meditative people on Kalimdor consider alcohol a drink for the masses, a drink whose properties cloud the mind and block contemplation of the gods. The Pandaren laugh at this notion. The ideal day for Pandaren begins with meditation and ends with a good drink with a better friend. They love encountering folk who live life to the fullest. They enjoy adventuring and they are happiest in a tavern, swapping stories and buying rounds for the house. Those lucky enough to meet a Pandaren and share in his ale will undoubtedly find it to be the best beer they have ever tasted. The downside to this, of course, is that they will no longer enjoy Kalimdor brewed beer as much. The Pandaren are an old and refined culture with many traditions and arts important to their way of life, none of which have influenced the Pandaren so thoroughly as the art of brewing. Drink is in every aspect of Pandaren life, and because of the craft involved, a tradition of brewing potent fluids has become a cultural institution for the people of Pandaria. The Pandaren brewmasters travel the world for new and exotic ingredients and recipes. These affable yet deadly warriors practice a unique combination of healing arts and martial skill. With their knowledge of alchemy, potion making and brewery, the Pandaren have created superb ales and liquors that have become a welcome drink at any adventurous table, either before, during or after battle. The brews hold magical properties as plants, berries and fungi that harbour powerful spirits are often included as ingredients in whiskies, ales and other alcoholic beverages. Distilling these ingredients focuses potent magic. Little is more revered in the Pandaren culture than brewing. These refined soldiers consider brewing as important to their culture as art and traditional ritual. In fact, many of their society's arts and rituals would suffer if not for the brewing. Although various kinds of alcohol are in every part of life for the Pandaren, they are far from a drunken society. Because of the love of drink, the tradition of brewing is considered one of the noblest pursuits, and they revere their brewmasters like other societies honour their priests. The brews, for the most part, carry the hallowed names of the original brewmasters who created them: Chou Ling Xing, Hong Lu, and the brewmaster known only as Xiang or Zhang are the three most revered brewmasters. They had a frequent and friendly rival. Chou and Hong put their names on their brews, whilst Zhang preferred hers go anonymous. If she named none of them, she could claim all that did not bear the other two's names. With these masters long dead, their present-day protégés carry on the tradition. Rarely a Pandaren over-imbibes and suffers the next day. Hangovers can happen, and a Pandaren cannot afford to be knocked down with a pounding head and a queasy stomach. There is beer to brew and questing to do, and martial arts to practice, none of which are easy when suffering. Pandaren parables say that if someone pulls you, instead of resisting, you should push. So in the same light, instead of fighting the hangovers, Pandaren drink the Chou's hair of the dog ale, a deep red amber ale that has a light taste and leaves the head feeling clear and sharp. While beer is treasured in Pandaren culture, whiskey is revered. It represents health and good fortitude and even luck. Pandaren brewmaster philosophy says that the best whiskey can make a Pandaren strong enough to face an army. The particular vintage named Wounded Warrior whiskey has amazing healing properties, plus causes the wounded warrior to become as strong as a lion after drinking. Pandaren martial arts. They take the same stance regarding their martial arts as they do every other part of their lives. They use what works, perfecting it with terrifying results. They don't use what doesn't work. If an injured leg won't allow the Pandaren to kick very high, he gives up that kind of kick and perfects another. If up against a massive opponent, the Pandaren will not waste time trying to match strength with strength, as the opponent represents the rock in the river to them. They find a clever way to best their opponent while expending the least strength necessary. They are formidable monks, following their philosophies to the letter and perfecting their martial arts as they see fit. Even the lowliest Pandaren is capable of defending himself, using the fangs and stubby but needle-like claws that are a natural part of his body. All Pandaren can use these natural weapons to fight and hunt. As Pandaren grow up playing rough and tumble games meant to hone their abilities while learning the admonishments of their elders that such things are a last resort. In general, Pandaren prefer to use the weapons they craft, feeling that their natural weapons harken back to a primal time. Pandaren are bipedal creatures, but their pseudo-ursine forms allow them to move at tremendous speed on 4 limbs. When a Pandaren drops down to all 4s, his speed increases greatly. He must have nothing in his hands to use quadrupedal movement. Pandaren relations. All of the races that reside on Kalimdor view the Pandaren with interest, claiming to come from an island named Pandaria, which no one has ever visited. These gentle beings bring their love for beer, their quiet contemplations, and their formidable fighting techniques to Kalimdor to experience life on the continent. Pandaren are the smallest of the bestial races and seem positively tiny next to the hulking bulk of the furbolgs. However, they seem much less like beasts than their apparent cousins. They value honour, discipline, and friendship above all else. Gain the companionship and trust of a Pandaren, they say, and you have a friend and protector for life. The Pandaren are an independent race, and any encountered outside the barns are wanderers and travellers belonging to no affiliation. Their outlook meshes well with the Alliance, and most Pandaren in Kalimdor are found in the company of Alliance races. Pandaren are eccentric, however, and some feel more at home around the Horde. In any case, they rarely stay in one place for long. Pandaren friendliness and combat prowess make them good allies and honourable enemies. Pandaren are on good terms with all non-evil races. Although they have been on Kalimdor a short time, the Pandaren have already developed a special bond with the Ironforged Dwarves. Dwarves are a race that appreciates good ale and a good story, and they have many to tell of their own. The Pandaren have enjoyed their stops at Baal Modan and the things they have learned of the Alliance, the Horde, and the Scourge there. Being a race that honours their ancestors as well, they aid the dwarves in their search for Titan artifacts when they can. They believe knowing where one comes from is an important aspect to living a full life. They have also made friends in the half-elves they have encountered, as the half-elves are beginning to adopt the same life-accepting philosophies as the Pandaren, and they find them to be ideal travelling partners. Most Pandaren have recently arrived on Kalimdor, but there are some that fought in the recent conflicts surrounding Illidan. A number of Pandaren were visiting the dwarves of Belmodan when the call came to the Alliance to prevent the Blood Elf and Naga army travelling to Northrend. To honour their hosts, the Pandaren visitors joined the fight. It was during this battle that they formed most of their opinions regarding the other races. The Pandaren have liked most of the other independent races they have met. Deciding to remain neutral themselves, they appreciate the other races' reasons for standing safely in the middle. They understandingly identify more with the races that they have philosophies in common with. Some Pandaren spent many months recently with the Furbolgs, learning of their simple life in Ashenvale Forest. They sympathise with the half-orcs they have met, and simply do not understand the goblins. They, like the other races of the continent, do not care for the Blood Elves and Naga. There are exceptions, as one was last seen fighting alongside the Sindore. The trolls are puzzling as they practice divine magic but for evil purposes, which doesn't coincide with the Pandaren philosophy. Pandaren languages. They mainly speak Pandaren. Many have also learned Common, Darnassian, Dwarven, Torahe and Thalassian in their travels. Pandaren and Furbolgs. Pandaren are distantly related to Furbolgs. In fact, a race of more feral-looking Pandaren live in Northrend and appear to be in league with the Wendigos there. A few of the more bestial-appearing Pandaren were in the command of a Pandaren brewmaster under Garthos' elite guard, to try to stop the Blood Elves and Naga from fleeing to Outland. These Pandaren are referenced in Alliance and Horde Compendium as having joined up with dwarves of Baal Modan in order to stop the Blood Elves and Naga. References to Pandarens in World of Warcraft prior to the Mists of Pandaria. Chen's empty keg refers to the secret Pandaren brewmaster hero Chen Stormstout, who aided Rexar in Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne. An NPC child named Justin, who walks around Stormwind and fishes with two other NPCs, tells unbelievable stories. One of them includes him saying, "It's true, people have seen them. Pandaren really do exist." A Pandaren companion called Pandaren Monk is available at the Blizzard store. The Bag of Fishing Treasures reward from Marcia Chase's fishing dailies has a chance of dropping an item called Fantasy Portrait. The item's icon is a picture of a Pandaren's face, the art of which was created for the 2005 April Fool's Pandaren Express. Pandaren's A History of Rumours. The Pandaren started as a creation of the Blizzard artist Samwise Didier and an April Fool's joke, but they got a massive response from Warcraft fans. In the first BlizzCast episode, launched on January 10, 2008, Samwise recalled the process to the creation of the Pandaren April Fool's page. But so we put that up in there and everyone was like, "Oh my god, a panda race, that's kind of cool." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Really? You want to see pandas in Warcraft 3 or whatever?" Soon they were included in the Warcraft 3 expansion, and Chris Meston began to write them into the game lore. Due to this popularity, Pandaren were rumoured to be the new playable Alliance race to be introduced in the Burning Crusade expansion. Their possible appearance in WoW has been hinted at multiple times by Blizzard. Katricia said maybe they will be found in the beta or retail version of the game, and maybe they will be granted a special place in an expansion. Just imagine how exciting it will be to find one, and Pandaren will not be a playable race at this time. Will they make cameo appearances in the game as NPCs? Some things are best left unanswered, I think. Supposedly, a gaming magazine was brought to Blizzard's offices in the fall of 2005 to view the Burning Crusade expansion pack for the first time. There were dozens of posters and artwork depicting the Pandaren as the new Alliance race. This rumour goes on to suggest the race was then cancelled for reasons concerning pandas being a sacred animal in China, or with political problems associated with a Japanese-Chinese hybrid. In Warcraft 3 beta, Pandaren wore samurai armour, but this was soon fixed. Other gaming sources stated that when mentioning the ex-April Fool's joke Pandaren Empire, the Blizzard staff got a surprisingly cagey response. Blizzard has yet to confirm or deny these rumours directly. In any case, Blizzard revealed in May 2006 that the new Alliance race for the expansion was to be the Draenei, thus rendering most rumours incorrect. Nevertheless, Katricia's comments still leave some possibility for a future appearance in World of Warcraft. These rumours are old because Mists of Pandaria exists and these fucking things are playable in that expansion, thanks to that expansion pack. Another persistent rumour regarding their non-inclusion in the game is that there is a law in China prohibiting any depiction of violence against pandas, even anthropomorphic pandas, even in a video game. This rumour is in fact baseless. Not only does such a law not exist, but there is at least one Chinese MMO that does feature both PvP and a playable race of pandas. During the discussion panel at BlizzCon 2009, it was stated that the Pandaren have not had an increased presence in the game due to legal issues with China. Pandaren trivia. The name Pandaren is derived from the words panda and ren, the Pinyin Chinese word for person. Literally translated, Pandaren means panda people. Pandaren philosophy points indirectly at the Chinese martial Tai Chi because of its soft, gentle nature and powerful attacks. The style also shows the same philosophy as the Pandaren religion. However, due to the drinking, it could lean towards the infamous style of drunken monkey fist. Some of their culture is much like the Chinese religion of Taoism. Thank you for watching this vid, if you have, and I just want to apologise for it being so long. Also, I want to say a couple of personal opinions about the pandas. Fucking pandas! And apparently we only have ourselves to blame. Some moron on Blizzard took the comments of children, I'm guessing, to mean that people wanted pandas. They have become the most hated fucking thing that ever happened to the game. Their starting zone is awesome. I will give Blizzard that one. The race suck donkey nuts. Actually, donkey nuts aren't big enough to express how badly they suck, but they just fucking suck. The artwork for them is amazing, but they, as a playable race, suck. Also, despite what the lore would try to lead you to believe, it still strongly suggests they are fucking alcoholics. Alcoholic fucking pandas. Okay, I'm gonna end this here before I keep repeating the phrase alcoholic fucking pandas. And this, just so that you guys know, this vid has taken a lot out of me because I hate these things. Not these vids, but that race. I hate them. I am racist against the Pandaren. It's the only race and the gnomes. They're the only two races I hate based on race alone. So, as always, remember, play to game and game to play.